Okay, that's enough of that. So, hello everyone. My name is Notepad Anon, and I write games for fun. So, what are we working on today? We are working on Hearts of Darkness. Now, yesterday's stream got cut a little bit early for two reasons. One, I was beating my head up against a wall of how to do gun combat properly. And the second reason was because it was very late and I was very drunk. So, I'm currently drinking more because I am an alcoholic in the quarantine world. Let me just make sure everything is looking the way it ought to. Everything looks beautiful and wonderful and perfect. So, what did I do yesterday? As you see, I did add a few things, including this wonderful little picture here with Idris Elba holding a gun. So, this was where a lot of the things happened. So I added controlled burst, which you can pretty much fire up to half the rate of fire, and full auto, in which you can fire up to the full rate of fire. Oh god, I'm trying to burp, but not. In addition, I added the Overwatch option. Pretty much you establish a clear line of sight in an area. If any enemy attempts to move during the turn, the character may make a single shot at them. Pretty much, you can just take a pot shot at anyone who moves across your area and hopefully kill them or deal damage to them. So we have this right up here. In addition, I add the multiple targets in you. Effectively, how multiple targets work is, use my little example right down here. I'll bump it up to 125 so people can actually see it. If you want to attack two people, you roll 6 hits. You reduce it by 2 and then divide the remaining 4 hits by the 2. So 6 minus 2, you have 4 hits to distribute among the 2 targets. So if you're trying to hit like a lot of people all at once, you're not actually going to hit anyone. You're just kind of going to flop around and hopelessly miss. But if you are hitting just like 1 or 2 people real close, you're going to land a lot more shots. So, melee, effectively it's just a contested tough check. If they have a weapon or twitch, if they are attempting to dodge. If the character is successful, they add their tough to the harm done. Defenders win ties. Fairly simple. Grenades got a little bit of a overhaul. It's 1d10 plus twitch plus athletics. And that is how you try to hit someone, try to pretty much land it right where they are. If you miss, it lands a little bit farther away from them, so they might be able to avoid a lot of the worst problems of it. One thing to note with grenades is it detonates after a full turn, which is about 6 seconds. You may be saying, that's not quite right. Gameplay. But you toss it on there. You can choose to cook the grenade for an extra turn and then throw it. But if you aren't able to throw it, or you drop it, let's say you get your arm crippled, you drop it at your feet, and we can all know what happens when you have a grenade at your feet. The chunky salsa rule applies, and that's bad if you want to do the whole thing called living. So, if we go down here, heavy weapons, ambush, target immobilized, running it, ricochet, dual wielding, firing while running. Big target, small target, called shot, and both called shots. Hit locations. You scored a hit, roll the weapons with damage die, and then roll to hit location table. The circumstances dictate the indicated hit location is nonsensical, such as location being hidden by a wall. Roll again. Some weapons like grenades affect every body part caught in the explosion. So here's my rough. Everything's roughly equal. You see arms are not quite as equal. 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah. So you're more likely to hit legs or arms or something like that than you are to hit a head, or actually I should say stomach. And this is just random blind fire, and this isn't you making an aim shot. Stopping power. Okay, now we get to go on to the fun stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this. This is mass combat. Mass combat and tabletop RPGs have a unique We'll call it that unique history, because they suck. They all suck. And you may be wondering, what does that mean? Why does it suck? Well, it sucks because... Give me 1 second. I'm scratching behind my head. Because it's hard to make players feel impactful in larger scale conflicts. It doesn't boil down to just making a war game. But if you don't want to do a full war game, because if you try to do a full war game, people start getting mad because that's not exactly what you want, and it becomes a lot of rules. And we'll see when it comes to things like modern combat, because then you get things like Phoenix Command, Twilight 2000, and it becomes a way larger, rules-heavy explanation than it really needs to. So, let's see. Got some glory, hard mass combat. Because technically I have two methods of combat here as well. I have abstract. Why are... What the hell? Weird. Okay. So hard mass combat's kind of the way that it was intended, quote unquote, to be played, while the abstract warfare is actually stolen wholesale from Barbarians of Lemuria. Yeah. Thanks, Barbarians of Lemuria, for having the best, simplest mass combat system available. So let's get going through here. So, an army is composed of squads, platoons, companies, and battalion. Battalion is 4 to 6 companies, 2 to 5 platoons, or 4 squads. Okay, let's get this section in. Guts and glory, hard mass combat. People would like to think that heroes can win wars, that a single person can overthrow a nation and bring them together. Fortunately, it's not that easy. The revolution will be bloody. A revolution will have battles. We'll have war. We'll have hundreds of men on either side, fighting. What's another phrase? Tooth and nail. Let's see. Do you have any synonyms? Fighting. Victory is achieved. This is where large-scale combat comes into play. Combat comes into play. half of me wants to do a table for this. No, I think this works. Let's see. Battalion operates as faction's primary fighting force. The main core. Core of their fighting force. The battalion is organized into 4 to 6 companies. Organized. The battalion is organized roughly into companies, platoons, and squads. Now, technically, this isn't quite correct. There might be some military abu out there being like, but technically, don't worry about it. This is, again, for abstract purposes. These are the battalions, companies, platoons, squads. Because roughly you're going to be fighting a battalion. That's kind of going to be the max you're going to be fighting at, is that scale, at least. Side note. Actually, do I already have the side note for this? Could have swore I do. Yeah. Just cleaning this up. When engaged in large-scale combat, the fighting units are assigned a die value representing training, supplies, health, and morale. Actually, a fighting unit is a step below the current operating procedure. Current operating group. And that means I'm going to take this out, but put it right here. Insert footnote. A battalion fighting has all of its platoons assigned a battalion divides in battalion warfare. All platoons are assigned. All platoons are fighting units and are assigned to die values. Alright, since the actual number of soldiers are, and I quote, a bitch to work with, we'll use 10s. 10 soldiers per squad, 3 to 5 squads, 3 to 50, 4 to 6 platoons. which are comprised of three to five squads. A company is provided 4 to 6 platoons, and a battalion is comprised of 4 to 6 companies. Which you may say, like, oh, 480 soldiers isn't that much, or 900 soldiers isn't that much. Yeah, you're right. It's not really that much. Because actually, I'm curious. You can tell how much research I've done in these various things. Use the Sierra Leone Civil War. So about 20,000 rebels. Actually, battalion army size. Fire teams, squads, platoons, companies, regiments. So a regiment is composed of oh jeez. So brigade work. Three to 6 battalions, okay. So actually, I'm going to bump this up to the brigade. Operates as the private A. The brigade is organized into battalions, companies, platoons, and squads. Now you're already kind of seeing why this large-scale combat's kind of a fucking nightmare. So, average size of a brigade. A brigade is composed of 3 to 6 battalions. So that would be gotta get my calculator out here. Make sure I'm actually doing my mathies here correctly. For let's actually go 3 times. This actually changes the numbers for a lot of things. Fuck me, okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna have to bump things up. It's gonna be a pain, but I can do it. In battalion warfare, all platoons are getting fighting units are assigned die values. Alright, so let's see. Cannon, D2s, cannon fodder. Yeah, if you're rolling D2s, you are quite literally not even... Yeah, these aren't actual troops, they're human shields. A D4, rabble, a gun for every other. Armed civilians, trained, veteran, professional, elite. Killers, months of training, see firearm, tactical battlefield knowledge, and professional instructors. These soldiers are deadly indeed. This is of bookkeeping. Either make sure what an individual, platoon, or company is comprised of, for the sake of completeness, as the average die value will reflect the die values of the above, of the conglomeration. Yeah. Actually, no. I understand why I want an abstract system in place, just so people, you don't want to deal with this. So, beer too, because you know it's going to get real intense. Personnel, military age, males and modifier, children. -1 die. Okay, actually, I have to do this for modifiers. Every civilian can hold a gun. Every civilian can hold an old gun. Gun with faulty ammunition, taped together with little more than faith and gum. But that doesn't mean they'll be an effective fighting force. If a fighting unit is primarily staffed by, primarily filled with, equipped with, or possesses a modifier, they increase their die value by that amount. Die value by that amount. For example, actually no, I'm going to put the for example at the bottom. No, this is the troops fighting unit. Do not affect 3 squads child for 1 squad of military age soldiers merged. Why do I have these? Okay, no. Okay, let's take these away, I guess. Why do I have these? Like, personnel. Actually, let's... Who is fighting in the unit? And are they actually capable of fighting? Because again, why would we be here if we didn't have child soldiers be an option? Maybe that's what I should change the name. So, children, criminal, elderly, military age males, psychopaths, soldiers of fortune, women, well equipped, shortages, major shortages, barely equipped. So... One, two. Control Shift 8. You're heading 4. Should you be heading 4? Yeah, you should be heading 4. I might change that later. I don't know. Do the soldiers have ammo, bandages, food, and other essential supplies? Fun fact, you probably won't. Control Shift 8. What guns are your soldiers using? Broken messes. Or pristine new. In case you're wondering, yes, I did use the term factory new from Counter-Strike. And no, there's nothing you can do to stop me. Ha ha ha. I'm gonna do that. This is the fighting unit equipped with a vehicle that can... Equipped with vehicles for easy deployment and transport. And then we have what unique equipment does the fighting unit possess that they can use? Battle. When bonuses. What situations should assist or hinder the fighting unit? There we go. Put a space in between each one. So, fighting units, wounds. Squads have a base 10 wound, platoons have 10 times the number of squads in the platoon, 10 times the platoon in company, and the brigade is 20 times number of battalions. Brigade. When two units clash, brigade times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2. We want to add a column to the right. Wound multiplier. Brigade. Times 1, times 1, times 1, times 1, times 1. So, when two fighting units clash, they both roll their die, determining the winner of the roll-off deals wounds equal to the squad's training die, plus equipment, plus vehicles. If the fighting unit is a smaller size category, the damage is multiplied by the number of stats below it. Okay, we're going to need an example here. An example. A battalion. A squad versus a company. An elite squad versus a trained company. Actually, an armed civilian company. The president's palace has been under siege for 2 days by a company of armed civilian of protesting the local election fraud. President sends out an elite squad of the Royal Guard to break the crowd up. The squad has 10 wounds. The company has, let's say, 40 wounds. 4 platoons. Actually, no. The company is divided into 4 platoons, each with 30 wounds. Because there's 3 squads per platoon and it's 10 times. Actually, you know, I'm going to bump that down to 5 times. So 4 platoons, 5 times, so at 15 wounds. With 3 squads. Yeah, we can bump that up a little bit. Screw it. With 20 wounds. 20 wounds each. Okay, you know what? This is why we do examples, because we have to add a section now. But if a unit's modifiers have it exceed D20, right, meaning additions are added as a flat bonus to the roll. Insert footnote. I have, if there is an elite squad, an elite group with criminals, well equipped, and 90s factory new guns. So they would receive 1, 2, 3. They would receive a flat +3 to all of their rolls. Phone Y. Multiple attackers. Plus X die by number of attackers. Yeah, there we go. So, overall, the squad is going to be rolling D20 +2 because they have well equipped. They have +1 from well equipped and +1 for, let's say, body armor. D20 +1, well equipped. Well, the company of armed civilians are going to be rolling D6 plus. Let's see what they have for. We'll say they're mostly military age men. We'll say they have minor shortages. This 80 factory new gun's not great. +4. Actually, so it'd be D8, D10, D12. So they're going to be rolling D12 because of armed civilians. +4. +4 die from multiple attackers. Alright, so break the crowd up. So we are going to, I'm actually going to get my personal dice out. I have my handy D10 right here. It's going to be an little orange D10. going to... Actually, we're going to need a D... Get myself a D20 out and a D12. Okay, got everything I need. So let's do our first round of combat. When two fighting units clash, they both roll their die. Winner of the roll off. We never clarified who goes first, did we? Absolutely fucking not, did we? Huh. I have that, modifiers. Actually, let's put initiative. Commanders on both sides. Roll 1d10 plus leadership to determine who acts first in the engagement. During an ambush, the characters with the highest force, that is ambushing, attacks first before the initiative is rolled. Okay. That'll be my quick and dirty way of doing things. So we'll just say the guard acts first, rolling to attack one of the platoons. So they both roll their die. So no, it's be a roll off. So it'd be D20 plus 2 versus D12. So it looks like it's 14 versus 5. So the squad would do damage. So it's their squad training die. See how much damage they do right off the bat, plus their equipment. So they would have it +1. Actually, no, they wouldn't have nothing because they have 80s. So it would just be their squad training die. They do 19 damage to one of the to attack one of the platoons. Guard rolls a 16, and the platoon rolls 5. Guard deals their training die and damage, rolling a 19. Currently, This isn't quite working correctly. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to do what I did yesterday a little bit, and I'm just going to loudly mark this section as ooga booga, ooga booga, ooga booga, ooga booga, ooga booga, I don't know. But just to make sure I'm not going to try to like cuck you guys out of actual time, we're going to move straight on to let's take a look at equipment anyway. So armor is applied to each body part. Most enemies characters encountered will be wearing basic or light armor. Medium armor is reserved for legitimate troops or well-equipped militias. Heavy armor is used exclusively by well-funded national armies and foreign mercenaries. So light, medium, heavy armor have an associated encumbrance value. That is stacking penalty, attacking in hot environments or moving quickly. For example, if a character attempting to move and shoot, their encumbrance value is taken away from their attacks. Each time the armor is struck, the SP is reduced by 1 point. So, I'm going to do... We're going to insert footnote here. Example, I have light body armor. Light body armor. Light arm armor. And medium leg armor. I would have a total encumbrance value of, because I have 1 light, I would have 3, 4, 5 would be value of 7. 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4. So, like, wearing more armor isn't actually really helpful for you because you're going to be in really crappy situations. You want to wear armor if you're going to be close quarters combat, so you can spam burst attacks or full auto, or you're going to have a lot of advantages, such as you're going to be just like laying down and just taking pot shots at enemies. You're not going to be really moving, or you're not going to be actively, dare I say, fighting. So, weapons, spears. Why do I put an E there? There's an E there. What does that mean? Why is there the E there? What? Why is that a thing? Is there a reason? I have to have a reason, right? No, there's just no reason. Okay, I'm going to take that away, I guess. Oh, edged weapons. That was it. That's when I still had the edge weapon stuff in. So, no, we're just going to reduce all of that. Big rock ubiquitous. Machete. Club. Sledgehammers. God. Yeah, I do plan on expanding the armory a little bit, because this is kind of a sad state of affairs, to be honest. Yeah, this is just me right now going through here's to expanded armory rules. Oh, God. Okay, so the vehicles can't be that bad, right? Right, everyone? Right. God. Oh, gosh. Vehicles are effective like modern warfare, able to rapidly deploy troops, and a key part of war strategy across the world. In Africa, this is no different. When acting under stress, brain plus drive as they desperately struggle. Control the vehicle maneuver, swerve, take off, land, rotate, or hover. Tight turns, controlled skid, recover from stalls. Emergency stops, pull out of a dive. Bootlegger turn, regal control from a skid. Well, it's saying difficulty failed. The crash vehicle removed one hull from it, stopping it immediately. Finally, hull rating, which is the number. aquatic vehicle. Okay. So what I'm going to do with vehicles. This is just going to be my preliminary notes for vehicles. Vehicles is one, we're going to be adding more table for specific vehicles. Tablet, yeah. Tablet for specific vehicles. Table for vehicle types. Yeah, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be one I can just like sit down and be like, what do I want to do here? Defining armaments. All right, so let's reorganize everything as of right now. So, what needs to go into rant? Okay, so we're going to have to make effectively a section of the book. We're going to say new section. Different, so pretty much side stuff. So, the side stuff overall is we struggle together. Deeper faction management. I don't know if I'm higher. Drugs and narcotics. Abstract warfare. Where are you? Where are you? Come on, you. Okay. Expanded armory rules. Yeah. Yeah, those are going to be my rough compromises there. Streamed for about an hour. Not a lot happened this session. I'm not going to lie. Not a lot happened. But not a lot happened because there's just a lot of little things to do at this point, and we're setting everything up for the future, and I need to double check things. I thought fixing up the large-scale combat was going to be a lot easier, but I realized when I wrote it, I left out a lot of little things in it. I just need to go back over it again and again and again and again and again and again to make sure that it just works. I will, of course, tomorrow I'll update everyone what progress I made on that front. Because I don't know how deeply I want to dedicate it, or I just want to rewrite the entire thing from the ground up. So, we've been streaming for, I'll go for 1 minute. and I will round this up at a single hour. But tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to fix up large-scale combat, number uno priority numero. One priority number, yeah. Then we're going to start going through the equipment lists a little bit deeper. I think armor works the way it's supposed to, and I kind of like it. Weapons are just going to get expanded. I'm just going to add some more basic types of weapons, kind of play around with those, have some more fun with them. And vehicles, I have a few ideas how I want to do vehicles. I just want to clean that section up in general. I think I can make it a lot prettier, so it's not as terrible. And from there, we can move on to magic and juju. Then the campaign. That'll be kind of my 1 to 2 to 3. Again, the campaign won't be too difficult, I don't think. I think the big thing with the campaign is that it's just going to be a lot of me sitting down and typing things out to make sure that it works properly. Because the idea of the campaign is pretty much build your... It's a toolbox to allow the narrator to build their own adventures and allow the players to become more invested in running this rebellion that they're going in. So that's how that's supposed to work. So I just want to make sure that it does work that way. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day.